What's up, my galactic mystical illuminations family? Star Interstellar here, and hope this day finds you blessed as always. Here with a little galactic energy update for everyone. If y'all have felt a big shift today, definitely a lot of it, of course, is Mars coming into Leo. And a lot of what we are feeling here is movement, final movement and shifts through and out of woundings, abandonment, betrayal, things like that that had to do with Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden. And this, of course, disconnection and abandonment wounds from being separated out from our connection to God's source. A lot of this is shifting for a lot of us as we start to step into the new faculties of the 5D and higher earth that are now more fully available to us. What this can feel like is, the masculine is now kind of leading the way. There's been a big ego death and rebirth as Mars went over its opposition to Pluto, moving through Cancer and dissolving and breaking free of a lot of these different ancient family wounds, galactic family wounds related to our personal family wounds, because of course, past lives really at the end of the day are an illusion. All lives are happening simultaneously. If y'all saw my recent post, if you tune into the Mystical Illuminations Instagram, it's very true. And a lot of what this can feel like, a lot of what this process is about is, the polarity of sin that came in through the Garden of Eden. Sin is essentially just the positive and negative of the masculine and feminine, always being stuck in that battle between mother and father, which is that positive and negative polarity, which has to do with these energy channels in the body. We can get into these states, more lunar consciousness, right? The original name of the moon, Sin. We're just like bounce back and forth, like on the waves of the ocean, just like feeling great, feeling not so good, up and down, back and forth, like bouncing in a boat. And as we come into our divine identity, our Christic connection to the inner source, that energy starts to move back into the central channel, which is where we get Lilith from, the original wife of Adam. And this is, as we've had these experiences that broke us out of that connection to the cosmos, to the earth, to Gaia, and things like that. And then we're like just stuck in this identity, kind of defensive, armor, walls up, things like that, that sort of mode. And as energy comes into our body, this higher galactic energy, which is rooting into the earth as Uranus squares Saturn, breaking down that 3D control matrix that has been present here for so long, that electrical energy comes into the body, and it's like all those wounds and the trauma and all this stuff, it's like got to go. It's got to go to allow the embodiment of this higher Christic identity and force to descend and ascend into the depths of our bodies, into our beings. And it means that that consciousness, that awareness, that masculine energy wants to come into the farthest reaches of our body. But in order to really operate and to gather its footing, we are at this place now that's like these new faculties are now able to really come online. The entrance into being at play in this kind of like cosmic orchestra where we can sense into and feel into the higher cosmic mind, the higher cosmic realms, and also start to root into the Gaian body, the earth body, which is our physical vessel and things like that. And this is really that central channel kind of starting to come online. So it's like a little kid starting to learn how to walk, but we're not kids, we're adults, we're adepts and things like that. But in certain realms and energetic fields that are coming online, it can feel like being a kid. And this is, again, going back to that situation of, being pushed out of the garden and then having to come up with all of these armor, walls, defenses, and things like that, and battle and be in survival mode. And as we enter into the 5D and higher realms in Earth, it goes out of survival mode and into play with the divine orchestra. Like I said, this is where by breaking down those wounds and those traumas and things like that, we are able to become sensitive through our hearts, through our solar plexus, to new energetics, new notes that we can play with, new paints that we can paint with in the expanse of the 5D earth. Right? Or the even higher than the 5D earth. And this is because what's happening is our solar plexus and these aspects of our nervous system are starting to become even more of an adept faculty for co-creation. This is like turning our solar plexus into a instrument, literally, or like a paintbrush, right? Or a palette, where we can sense and feel into these new dimensional layers, and we can actually start to dance and play with those things as we become sensitive to those energetics and learn how to navigate in these new ways. Now, with Mars in Leo, this is that, ego aligning with divine mind and becoming that sort of child. Of course, Venus is still in Cancer. And so this is, the feminine is still behind the masculine a little bit, but the masculine is kind of our consciousness, our drive, our ego is now aligned in this way and start to become in this more playful mode and be able to kind of like take charge and kind of it's like a little kid like losing the training wheels, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go out now, I'm gonna I can do this, right? And of course, as we come into those things, our cosmic mothers and fathers, our galactic family, our soul family, our guides and things like that, of course, they're still here to assist us. And the feminine is still sensitizing itself. And now as the masculine is coming into this new realm, it also leaves space for that feminine in Cancer, that Venus, to really be able to step in and be able to soothe a little bit more as these kind of, we get on that bike and we may kind of hit our knee or something like that. And that feminine being in Cancer can really tap in more to this ability to kind of nurture that masculine, soothe that masculine, still be sensitive to what is important and how to operate in these new realms and things like that. And so this is a little bit about that process that we have going on. It's like these divine faculties are coming online. Can feel a lot like ancient kind of ice that's just been painful in our body systems, in our Akashic waters and things like that, starting to melt and break down, and this warmth of the solar consciousness coming in, and that warmth allowing us to kind of feel in these new spaces, play in these new spaces. It's kind of like if we've been in really cold water for a long time and then it starts to warm up and we can start to sense in new ways and new things like that. It's like we're literally being unfrozen from this ancient cosmic ice and starting to kind of warm up to this new reality that we are part in. And of course, in the next couple months, we have Venus and Mars will be meeting in Leo, and this will be a more final kind of a uniting of the masculine feminine in this new solar consciousness. And I want to kind of honor this new energy today. And so I also want to tune into at least one card here. I have this really cool, this is a human design deck that I have, is a rare deck. And I want to help us all by tuning into something that can help us as we move forward over the next few days to kind of assist us in navigating this new energy that that can really give us something energetically to tune into, something to be aware of, something to be conscious of as we move into these new realms and energetics. Of course, I'm just going ahead and set the intention that whatever information comes here is only in alignment with the highest organic timeline. If you find this information to be helpful to you, if you go ahead and smash up the like button, comment, share with your friends and family. Really appreciate that. I love sharing this information with you. And I'm feeling playful and creative myself, tuning into some new things that I may be able to bring to this channel and the Mystical Illuminations family. So what can we tune into in this next phase here? What's the specifically, let's tune into, our masculine conscious awareness as it steps into these new realms of playfulness and the creativeness of this Leonine energy. What can we tune into to assist this new pathway opening up to us right now? And we have progress, change. The secret is no expectation. And so what this is a really beautiful energy here. What this is about is a sense of adventure. Really is what this has a lot to do with. This has a sense of adventure, being able to, when we drop our mental ideas and pictures of what it is that we want or what we think we want and things like that, and we can just surrender to the adventure, this is when true miracles can happen. We drop that personal identity and allow for the adventure to present itself. And when we do this, we tap into more creative abundance, more flow, right? When we lose so many of the expectations, then it allows divinity and these higher cosmic realms to work through us. This is like, imagine, you going on a vacation or something like that, and maybe normally you might have some sort of rigid schedule that you want to go by. Is well, this has to happen this time in this way. At 5 o'clock, we're going on the roller coaster, and we can't miss that or whatever. Now imagine, just for a moment, this is what this energy is all about, because this energy has a hunger to it, right? It deeply wants to go on this amazing new adventure. And when it has expectations in a certain sort of way, what that will do is actually get in the way of the divine plan. So this is we're on this vacation, we're on this adventure, and really harnessing this energy is about let's say that all of a sudden, we're at that amusement park that I was talking about, and somebody comes up to us, in our plan for the day, and maybe it's the owner of the amusement park or something, right? And the owner of the amusement park is hey, really, I'm out and about my amusement park today, really trying to show some love to the people here and get in tune, want to show appreciation for those that come to my place. Would you come to my private area of the amusement park? Not really many people get to go there. And, in the lower consciousness of this energy, it might be oh man, we're really supposed to be on that roller coaster in 10 minutes. I don't know if that's the best idea. And of course, in this example, you can see how ridiculous this is. The owner of the place just offers you to come into his private area of the resort or something like that, But this is tuning into something greater as a whole, right? Is when we drop those rigid plans and expectations and things like that, then true adventure can happen, and we can go into a boundless expanse of that. The true potential of who we are is beyond who we can often see. So this is really important for these next phases. Keep this in mind over the next few days. I hope this has been helpful for you. As always, thanks for tuning in. Star Interstellar.